So we all know Facebook, a place with controversial stuff, a controversial platform in general. Some love it, some hate it, some don't even know it exists yet. But here we are. Now, before you go in the comments and say, oh, you are a boomer and stuff like that, I'm well aware of my Facebook addiction. But to begin with, we all have been scrolling on Facebook at least once in our lives and get some weird stuff on our feed. For example, to begin with, I mostly like military stuff, navy, boats, stuff like that. And I barely get recommended weird stuff, but sometimes it does pop up because of Facebook's well algorithm. Sorry, I'm not English, so I'm not very the best at pronouncing English words that are certainly not familiar to my tongue. So yeah, we all have gotten weird stuff on it, but this is something that I would consider illegal, and that is this post. We can begin to see in the post to analyze it is a woman standing by the side, an adult woman that is, standing by the side, looking out, and a boy comes and offers her money. The woman turns red and refuses the money, but then when the boy takes up 2 handfuls of cash, she accepts. She accepts. Which is very questionable art, and then you can see in the other scenes that it's some questionable substance there. And that, my friends, would I consider CP. And the comments of this post is making it any better. Now before I go to the comments, I just want to say do not send hate to any of these people or stuff like that, or to this page, even though I would love to. However, do not do that, because otherwise YouTube will probably smack my ass. So, the comments of this post is just disappointing. For example, this one has a Shad FBI meme, GIF, or stuff like that. With he's not illegal if he's responsible for what's going on, which is not really acceptable to write. I mean, how could you not have any shame writing that? And some can make the argument it's just art or it's just a comment, it can't be that serious. Sexual crimes is a very real thing and it's very serious. It's not something you should make jokes about or even draw that, because the person who draw that, they need to have their hardware or drive checked, because that's very questionable to draw. And it's not the first time we have seen wacky stuff on the internet people have somehow gotten away with. And the reason I think people have gotten away with posting this stuff most of the time is because it's just perverts who accept this art like this, and it often reaches them. And then us people who are mad about it often just get ignored and stomped by the perverts. Now there was one comment that was brave enough to actually acknowledge or write this is CP, which the other comments would argue and argue and argue. Now, why would you argue about it? Because you could see that this drawn boy is very much someone that is not at the age of consent, and the other thing is that they are how do you call it? Promoting prostitution. I don't know if I have to censor that word, but I will probably not, because I'm really lazy, and you will probably not understand what the word I would say, but they're also promoting the lady of the hour work. And that's just wrong also. And these things are very not so normal. You get what I mean? It's not very normal to post like this. Like, people who post these comments have families and stuff like that. What if, for example, one of the people comment on this, what if your wife finds this? How do you explain to her that you how do you explain to your wife that you commented it's not illegal if he's responsible for going on a post like that with that questionable art? Now, if I were the wife of any of these individuals who commented the pervy stuff, I would first ask them why, and then I would get a fucking divorce and get out of there, because that's just not acceptable. I would not marry someone with such a pervert. And you could make the argument they are just making jokes, but once again, I'm saying it's not something to joke about, certainly not on art like this, because this gives me Shadman vibes. I'm very I'm very sure you know who Shadman is. If you don't, he's a very controversial artist who has drawn also CP, and he's very controversial and has been in contact with Chris Tyson, which I know you are very familiar with. But yeah, that's what I want to say today. But do not send hate to any of these people. Let them just be an example to become what you don't need to be. And keep going. So that's all for today. I hope you liked the video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.